Yo guys, what is going on? Back again with a new video. This is going to be more detailed into Kapkan's buff. So these are just going to be a few tips and tricks to help you use Kapkan. So we're going to just jump straight into my details and statistics with this character. Before we go into anything, I just want to say I've only started using him after this buff. So if the details and all that aren't what you thought it'd be, just to let you know, I've only played like 2 days with him. So here we go. So my KD is 2.8, win is 3.1, and I've only gotten 11 kills with his actual Kapkan charge. I'm getting most of these tips from my friends, my other clan members that have gotten a lot of kills with him. So there you can see 78 kills, 50 rounds won. I've only played 4 hours. And then terrorist hunt stuff doesn't matter. So we're going to go back into his classes. We're going to talk more about that. So going into his actual customizations, here you can see he has 3 different things you can buy. Okay, we have the black ice, the dust line, and then the actual tier 2 headpiece. So we'll just go into full screen, and as you can see here, this piece looks very nice.
Very nice. How much?
So guys, if you are going to buy a headpiece, buy this one. Save up your arena and buy this one, because the other ones, to be honest, are just not worth it. As you can see here, there's nothing really fascinating to see about him. So we're going to go into his classes. We're going to talk more about that. So Kapkan has 2 different weapons. He has a SMG and a shotgun. So the SMG is the 9x19 and the shotgun is the SASG-12. I never really use the SASG unless I know I'm going to win the game, because if you go into it, you can see here that I'm running the suppressor on it and it only does 39 damage, and that is very low for a shotgun. The rate of fire is very bad, and the mobility is not that good with the actual 3-bar character. As you can see, it only holds 8 rounds in the mag, and it reloads fairly slowly. So the attachments I like to use on this gun are the reflex sight. You can pick 3 different sights. I always use the reflex sight for Spetsnaz because it is the most accurate one, because of the small arrow and the small sight around it. Then for barrels, you can only pick one, which is the suppressor, or you can just use the standard barrel. After that, you have the vertical grip, which I run, but it doesn't really do anything to the gun, as you can see. And then for underbarrels, I don't run anything because I'm completely against lasers in this game. All they do is give away your position. And then we have camos and charms. Then moving down to the 9x19, we have the reflex compensator. I use this because, as you can see here, reduces the recoil spread over time of rapid fire. And then I also have the vertical grip, and I also run the Russian flag on it. It was one of the charms you unlocked from doing the missions contracts, and it just gives it an extra cool looking look. So going into his secondaries, we have the PMM and the GSH-18. Always use the PMM, because if you're using a secondary, it's usually to kill the target that's either injured or really low health. Pick damage over ammo, but as you can see here, the damage is 46 and the shotgun is only 39. So as you can see, the shotgun is really bad. You may as well just use the PMM if you are going to use a shotgun. And I only run suppressor and laser sights, as it is the only thing you can get on this gun. Then going down to gadgets, we have the barbed wire and nitro cell. I picked nitro cell because it's always good to have explosives on you. So we're going to jump into a quick game, and I'm just going to show you how to set up the Kapkan charges and where to put them. Okay, so here we are. We're down in Clubhouse. We are in the basement. So as you see here, first of all, you'd think of putting a Kapkan charge on this door, but I wouldn't recommend doing it, because usually people will not rush straight into like objective. So I wouldn't put it there. What I do is put it in the doors that people usually come in through, and they wouldn't really check it for traps or anything. So as you see here, I put it waist height, and I was like, you know what, this isn't going to work, because if someone breaks down the barricade, that's in front of their view. So what I would recommend doing is putting it lower to the ground, because when someone usually breaks the barricade at their height, eye level, so put it down at the bottom, because usually people do not look down, they won't look for bare mats or anything. So as you see here, it is much better down low, because people will always, one, try to look into the room to see if anybody's in there, and two, make sure there's no bear traps or cameras. So if you do put it at ground height, they're most likely just going to walk straight through it. You know, because of the update, you can put it at any height in the door. So I still recommend putting it down at the bottom. So we're going to move on to next place. As you see here, I put the trap near the objective, and what I recommend doing, this isn't for putting it near the objective, it's to put it anywhere. But what I recommend doing is breaking open the door, so people are like, oh okay, there's nothing there. If it's open, there's no traps in front of it. So what they're going to do is one hit and go and walk straight through, and they're going straight into the trap. As you see here, it is hard to see the laser. It is in line with the broken boards, so you know, one hit and they're dead. This is what it looks like from the attacking point of view. So you see here, it's open. What I do is smash it open and then walk straight in. As you see there, it is hard to see. I always recommend putting it on the side where the person cannot see in through. So if someone's breaching in, they'd usually look to the right when they're breaching in. So I'd recommend putting it to the left, because no one's going to check that. And as you see here, low as well. If I put it low, if they try to breach it, they're going to check if there's any traps at eye level, and then they're going to walk straight in. Because people can't take 4 to 5 seconds looking at a door to see if there's any traps, and usually just rush in. So we're now going to move on to the next place. We are now moving to the tunnel. This doesn't apply to every map, but as you see here, the lighting is important as well. I'm in a dark area and I'm going into a brighter area, which makes the laser harder to see when you're in the dark area. So you see here, I can see the laser perfectly, but when I'm in the tunnel, it is much harder to see. So we're going to move on to the next place. So the next place is upstairs at the bar. So this is a really good example of kind of blending the laser in to the actual floor, I guess you would say. As you see here, I put it down near the bottom. As you see here now in just a sec, it is virtually impossible to see that laser. So as you see here, you can just walk straight through and you probably die straight away. Again, with the positioning of the actual box for the laser, always stick it on the side that the person cannot see. And here I'm going to show you that you should always place it at places they're going to breach in from. Never at windows. I do not recommend putting these at windows, because it's such a small area for someone to see. You can only put it at the middle of the door, of the window, I mean. And again, if someone opens up a window, they're going to see the laser straight away. So guys, this is going to wrap up the video. If you found any of this helpful, as I said, I'm not an expert in using Kapkan. If you actually have any tips for me, it'd be muchly appreciated. And guys, if you did find it any bit useful, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.